Monday morning on Daybreak here on iBrand, and now time for us to bring you the headlines on some of today's Nigeria dailies. We've got right here in the studio to help us thrash out some of the emerging issues, Dr. Jide Johnson, JJ for short. He's a public affairs analyst. Hello and welcome to the show.
Good morning to our viewers at home, all over the world, and good morning to you in the studio. It's a pleasure to be with you on this cool, breezy Monday morning.
Really, indeed
JJ,
it is.
He likes to be called JJ. He said we should add the doctor. Some simplicity. Yeah,
JJ, right?
Yeah, JJ.
We'll keep to that. Okay, now we're raising the curtain with the punch. Looming hospitals shut down, strike threat ridiculous, says federal government. And NAD, and Union Flay Minister with riders there in Gige accuses health workers of intimidation. Federal government worried. Juhesu accuses government of insensitivity. And Minister misleading Buhari, says union. Let's move upwards. We've got health care fund. Federal government blames states for non-implementation. NMA berates government. Presidency, PDP differ as regime lists Buhari's achievements. Now to the bottom, the base of the paper, Nigeria rejects Guinea coup. Soldiers plan transitional government. Let's stop there for now.
Now move to Nigerian Tribune. From the top to the bottom, the top says, hard times as prices of food items soar by 122% in 12 months. The next story says, if you go back to work, we will withdraw court case. Federal government tells doctors. The writer saying, accesses 8,000 names for residency training fund. Page 2 has a story. CJN meets Rivers, Kebbi, 4 other CJs today over conflicting ex-party orders. Delta CJ also summoned over Boni. Moving on, First Bank launches LIT APP to revolutionize mobile banking. ANEC deploys Ocean Bayelsa, Rex 3 others. Buhari directs NALDA to set up farm estates in 108 senatorial districts. Now the screaming headline here says, apprehension as federal government rules investors for 2.472 trillion naira loans. NDLEA intercepts drug candies from UK, naps 22-year-old importer. Government prosecute teacher for allegedly defiling 14 pupils in Niger State. And the last one for the Nigeria Tribune says, at the bottom part says, shutdown of communication, closures of schools will worsen citizen lives in the north, coming from the NAF.
The Nation is next. And the manner headline there, federal government moves to stop collapse of health sector. With riders, Ngige rushes to Aso Villa, meets with Juhesu tomorrow. Doctors reject terms. Now, the presidency lists Buhari's achievements. Why Oshun returned to 6334 education policy by Ritola.
All right, now to the Guardian. Businesses undecided over federal government state tango on value-added tax. Moving on, Sokoto, Kebbi, 3 others witnessed service disruptions as Zamfara's 2.1 million phone users lose access. A lot of stories here on the papers. I'm even trying to pick the best to pick from, but I want to talk about this.
What about the doctors' strike?
Oh, yeah, the doctor strike has been looming for a while, but then before the doctor strike, this, of course, I was going to pick from the hard times as prices of food items soared by 122% in 12 months. Now, that's an outrageous. That's really outrageous. And now, even to the Guardian says businesses undecided over federal government state tango on value-added tax. So lots of things are increasing, but the income of the average Nigerian remains the same. 12 months, 122%. Jide
Johnson.
JJ. I was going to ask Doctor, is that not outrageous?
Well, when government in the last quarter released the economic growth index by showing us that GDP, the gross domestic product, has increased by 3.8%, 1% or was it 2 point something percent? There was a percentage that was provided at the last quarter that ended, and I said, and we did a review of newspaper headlines in one of the media organizations. I said you don't need that as the indices to measure whether the economic is doing fine or is not doing fine. What you need to look at is the commodity price index. What is the cost of living? And what is the standard of living of an average Nigerian? And the commodity price index, the cost of living, and the prices of goods and services will tell you the rate of inflation in the society. If it is not outrageous, it is shocking, because all you need to do is to practicalize this thing and domesticate it. How many people do ask you for one form of help or the other? How many phone calls have you received from family, friends, and relatives that I need 2,000, I need 3,000? You know, those distress calls from people that you never imagined those calls would call from, and then asking you for stipend for them to survive. So it's evidently clear that there's no clear-cut economic policy for this present administration. I asked you, who is the economic advisor of this administration? The economic advisor. There's no direction. You could look at it that Rivers State, in a related story, Rivers State and Lagos State are contesting with the federal government on the right to collect the value-added tax. Yeah. That is the right of state government to collect it and not federal government. So there's no coherent policy when it comes to providing direction for this nation. There's no coherent policy. When it comes to security, there's no coherent policy. When it comes to politics, all you need to do is to go to both parties and look at both the ruling party and the main opposition. You discover that the center cannot do. So there's, from political point of view, from economic point of view, from sociological point of view, even from technical point of view, I'll relate that story to the story of federal government in tackling security, asking the telcos to shut down services in Zamfara State. Now, you shut down, in order to deal with security, you shut down the services of telcos in Zamfara State. What happens to the economic and social well-being of the people? Is that the best way for you to go about? Can't you track these people? Are they spirits that move in the night? And then you talk about your level of intelligence and the rest of it. So, coming back home on the economic issue, it's very, very clear that if something is not done, it's becoming pretty hard for people to survive.
What is this something that could be done?
The government needs to have. There should be an intervention that will create employment. An intervention. Look, we talk about doctors going on strike. In a little while, I might join the strike. And what happened? Now, for us to really revive this economy, we must do something about power. I tell you, for you to operate a TV and a radio station today in Nigeria is cost consuming, because you have to power your. Just imagine if the money we spend on buying diesel to power the station, we use it on staff welfare, we use it in producing programs and the rest of it. We produce better programs. Those programs we hear to the audience like the programs. Advertiser will come. You know, it's about velocity of money. How money is created with the economy. So the economy is not productive. You can't create it. It's a consuming economy and not a productive economy. And that's what we need to do. And every government, successive government, have made promises with respect to dealing with the issue of power. So once we get power right, now our industry will function. Once our industry functions, we produce goods locally, and we'll be able to hand foreign exchange, because we export goods abroad rather than depend on importation. We export more of our products, and then the value of naira will increase.
I guess that's the issue of power stabilizing. It's a long-term solution to this very problem. We're talking about the short term. You've already mentioned it, that this issue has been with us here for so many years without, up till this moment, finding a
for
solution
us
the
to
short term.
No, for us, we have always been looking at short-term solution to the problem. But the key is for us to have, you look, I shared something. In 2013, I read this book, My Vision, written by the ruler of Dubai. You know, United Arab Emirates is made up of 5 emirates. Dubai was a nation founded in 1971. And then in 2015, there was something which was shared yesterday, which is shared. A desert, a complete desert in 2015. Now, in 2021, that desert has turned, that's where they have their 2021 Expo, Export Promotion, Trade Promotion 2020. You won't believe it, how that nation has been transformed. So, in 2013, I made sure that every student that passed through me, through my classes, read that, has a copy of that book. You don't need rocket science to change this country. It's just the will and desire to solve this particular problem. But when you have a system that rewards criminality, it's a system that rewards criminality, because it's a system that you see that you have repentant Boko Haram. And I've asked people, what mechanism do you use to measure repentance?
Yes.
What mechanism do you use to measure repentance? So if you have a society whereby people steal public fund and they appear before the court, and the court process, rather than be quickened, we destroy the court process through technicalities. And those people will ended up finding themselves going to the Senate or going to the House of Reps. So it's a society that rewards criminality. And that's what you get, because there are no consequences for misbehavior. If there are consequences for misbehavior, then people that have earned money that is meant for power sector we face the music. So there's no short term. We require a long term approach to solving the problem. But do we have the political will? Do you have the political will?
That's a rhetorical question now, okay?
Thank you so much. JJ, in a short while, we're going to come back to you for more questions and answers. At this juncture, we're going to take a breather. We'll come back. We'll bring you the major topic for discussion today on the show. Don't go away.